Well, there's little Dixie, still the shyest one. Definitely a male, too. Feather, the mama cat, had 3 males. Onyx just walked inside. Feather walked inside. And this guy, Paws, the little white belly and 4 white feet, he almost walked inside. He was coming by the door a bunch of times. He's getting curious because where are those guys going, man? Are they getting good food in there? Anyway, tomorrow I'm going to be going down to the big Confederate flag down there in I-4, I-75. There's going to be, it's really great. I'm glad I'm going to be in the SCVMC, Sons of Confederate Veterans Mechanized Cavalry, which is sort of like a motorcycle club, I guess. In a way. It's kind of hard to say what it is. I guess you avoid that word club because it gets into all these crazy things with other clubs. And you don't want, right there, Dixie. This freaking yo-yo. This one is the shyest one going. But, man, I'm so, tempted to ride down there. But, I'm going to probably take the car. Because, not the weather. The weather should be good. But my tires are dated from 2012. And they got a lot of meat on them. One thing what I might just do though is inject a bunch of grease in the front wheel bearing. Maybe I will ride down there. I don't know. Kind of debating it. It's gonna be one of these last minute things. But either way, I'll be down there tomorrow. We're gonna get some video of the big Confederate flag. Like it's gonna make that thing look like a little, stick flag. I think that one is it's 30 feet of pipe, and I think it's 3.5 feet in the ground. So it's actually 26.5 feet. I believe that's what the length of that flagpole is. As a matter of fact, right now I'm gonna probably start getting ready for getting a 40-foot pole, and I might not do that till I might not order it till I don't know, a few weeks from now or so, and hopefully it'll be in there by Christmas. It'll be installed by Christmas, so I'll have all the Christmas lights out like I usually have all across. The fence out there, and with the 3 deer by the trees, all down there, and it'll cross this fence, going across this way and that way, and across the house, and I don't know. And we'll have what I'm going to do probably is I'm going to leave this pole up here. I'm going to probably put the Bonnie Blue on it with the single star, and that'll be, and the other one's going to go towards, this guy. What are you doing, Boober? And I just swapped my El Camino out around here because I was going to put the motorcycle in here and work on it. I don't know what I'm going to do right now because there's been so many projects going on. It's like I start one thing and I'm like, holy shit, there goes the day. Especially mowing the lawn by hand. What I'm probably going to do is, see, that's the edge of my property. And there's a county road back there, only 168 feet from the property. And you can't really see, you can see this flag dead on. And you can kind of see it from an angle there, but that branch blocks it, What I'm going to probably do is I'm going to put the 40-footer right about there. And it'll be higher up. It'll be more, this branches over there ain't going to block it. That's the plan. So, but I was estimating 40 feet. It's like, and each one of those is like, it's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, let's say 30, maybe another 2 feet this way. So 30. So like if the pole was laying out from here all the way to that edge of that thing, it would be 8 feet more. And I was thinking of putting some kind of guide ropes on it or something like that, so I could pull it up with, a ratchet come along, and I'd have to make sure the end stays down. It's not going to be easy if I'm trying to do this myself. Because the pole actually weighs 320 pounds. I found one that's rated for 125 mile an hour wind speed with a flag. And that's including, you can go 1.3 times the 125 mile an hour for gusts. That's one, in other words, stronger than any houses, for crying out loud. I mean, that's going to be plenty. That's with an 8x12 flag. So, Yeah, the more they freaking screw with this Confederate shit. You know, I saw up in Atlanta an article that they're renaming Confederate Road or Confederate Avenue or Confederate Street to something else. I don't know what. You know, and the reason they had it called that was because there was a home for Confederate veterans from the Civil War, and the last ones I think died off in like the late 50s or something, and the home was there to maybe, I don't know, maybe it was in the 60s because it was the spouses of those too. And that was the reason it was named Confederate Street. But yeah, I'm going to tell you honestly, the real game that's going on, with the powers fear is the independent minded Caucasian type people. In other words, the powers are Caucasian, right? But they don't like the independent minded Caucasian people. That's what their problem is, you know? And they're playing a game with the races, you see? That's exactly what they're doing. If you look real careful at Confederate generals that they like, that are really, there's one guy that's a really bad guy, Albert Pike. They got his statue up there in Washington, D.C., almost right directly across from FBI headquarters and very close to Eddie Blinken. They'll never question that statue because he's a 33 degree, you know what? He's all into the occult. And the guy, because reality is, the people that run everything are Caucasians, but those Caucasians are against the independent-minded Caucasians that want limited government and individual rights. So they're playing the game. That's the whole game in a nutshell. See? I mean, I think that's the angle nobody's bringing out. So, I know the game, but I really can't present it exactly on YouTube 100%. You know, but that really is the game. That is the game. It's not like, you know, if you look at the result of anything, you know, you look at what happened to the American Plains Indians, right? They got wasted, right? And then the ones that survived are on these reservations, whatever you call them, right? You know what? They survived for like at least tens of thousands of years before anybody, you know, from Europe set foot over here. Well, how come they can't survive with government assistance? You know what it is? It's because the government's assistance is like a freaking poison. As a matter of fact, the American native peoples that don't take the government assistance and they're freaking just going into entrepreneurship by themselves, they do great. You see, that's the game. They kill you with kindness. That's what they're doing to the black people too, man. Hey, black people worked freaking really hard when they were like on the plantations, right? Now, how come the entrepreneurship has gone away? Because the government is giving you shit. It's the same way they're doing to the American native peoples. They know what they're doing, man. It is Caucasians. It's a certain group, but they're against the limited government, independent-minded Caucasians. That's why they can't stand this symbol. Oh, they don't. It's not like the symbol of the history. It's the fact that it limits their financial shenanigans because the government's just a freaking big vacuum cleaner. It takes all the tax money, and if you're the guys on the top that control where that tax money's going or the policies are going, hey, your racket's going to be well protected and well funded, and you're going to have a safety net if you have any kind of problem where you're freaking screwed up on your calculations for your return on investment and you know, your pro formas, right? So these cats, you got a freaking maid. Anyway, I'll probably get out of here. You know what I'm probably going to do? I was going to shoot some grease in that front wheel bearing, but you know what I'll do is I'm probably going to change that bitch out maybe right now. It's hot as shit out here though. It's unusually hot even for freaking Florida. It's not, the weather's supposed to break by now in September, usually after Labor Day, even here in Florida. It's been in the mid 90s, and you know, most of the time you can see that flag ain't blowing much. No, humid, sunny, you know. You had a torrential downpour. It was raining like crazy all freaking summer. I mean, not just the normal shit. And, you know, I tell you what, I think that's foreboding, as the Farmer's Almanac is saying it's going to be extra cold winter up in the Northeast. There's probably loads of snowbirds going to be coming down here this freaking winter, man. I almost guarantee you that. So, you know, I almost guarantee you that. So, but this El Camino Does seem to run good. Starts up fine. It runs pretty smooth. I got to do the clutch in it. Got to do the rear springs. I mean, I could drive it though. I mean, it's not like it's terrible, you know. But the engine seems to be pretty good. So, anyway, I just figured to give you an update. I'm going to be down there tomorrow at the Big Flag at I-4 and I-75, and we're going to get some video, man. I was trying to find that place, and it's kind of hard because sometimes I looked at the Google and the flag wasn't unfurled because I was like trying to look at it from I-4 and or some of the road, right, and it's like you got to look kind of careful. But when that flag is unfurled, I think it's a 20 by 30. So, you know, a 100-foot pole, 20% of the height of the pole is 20 feet. So that's the, you know, that's the height of the flag. You know, like this pole here is 26 and a half feet. So it's a 5 by 8. A 5 by 8 can actually go on a 25 footer, but usually it's really recommended for a 30 footer. I get the 40 footer. 20% of 40 feet is 8 feet. You know, 1/5 of 8 is 8 feet. So I could put an 8 by 12 on that sucker, which is 2.4 times bigger than that thing. But I'm not, and I decided on a 40 footer because the regulations say up to 50 feet. So I have to be very, you know, somebody might come by and question it. Now, if they see a 40 footer, besides the other thing is the weight of the pole. If you get a 35-foot pole, you wouldn't believe the way the weights go up. A good strong 35-foot pole is 185 pounds. If you go to a 40-footer, it's 310 or 20 pounds, something like that, right? It's over 300 pounds. Just to go up 5 more feet. To go to 50 feet, it's 550 pounds. That's where, definitely, when it gets that damn big, you know, maybe it's possible. I think I'm really be pushing it with the 40-footer, trying to put that thing up myself. I don't know what this 100-foot pole weighs, but I was thinking a ton, but I think a ton is way below. It's probably like at least 3,000 pounds, man, that pole that was up there, put up there by Tampa. But a lot of people need to put these things up because, you know, not just the big ones, but this ones like this that are kind of like smaller. This isn't like real small, but it's kind of like a typical residential size. Sometimes they're 20 feet, 17 feet, 15 feet. It's a fairly decent sized one. But, you know, the powers that be are Caucasian, man. But the ones, what they got a problem with is the Caucasians that are kind of unruly, that don't want to go along with their bullcrap. And they're playing, you know, they play the races against each other. That's what they do. That's their scam. But if you look at the powers that are really up there in Washington, D.C., how come they got Albert Pike up there with us? Nobody's questioning Albert Pike, you know what I mean? That guy definitely was a bad guy. And if you look at, you know, I'm like, you know, I can't do too many videos on this shit because YouTube might not like them, I don't know. But, you know, I'm telling you the truth. If you look at, you know, you compare, you know, Tecumseh Sherman to, you know, Nathan Bedford Forrest. Nathan Bedford Forrest was all fine with the black people, man. He was good with them, man. He really was. I mean, yeah, he was a slave owner, but doesn't mean he was like a hater. You know, it was just the shit that was going on. But like I said, you know, if you're looking at today, the way they do things with money, in effect, you got the same deal. You know, this way, but without having the responsibility, full responsibility for the person. You see what I mean? Just pay them the money and tell them goodbye. You got enough money to eat? Well, maybe that's your problem. You know, that's how they do it today, right? So, nothing much has changed, man. The money people are all about the money people. But I'll be down there tomorrow. I want to get some freaking video. Hopefully, I'm going to get a lot of video, man. And maybe post, you know, several clips of this place, so you know, you can see what's going on. And you know, like I said, I think a lot more people need to put these flags up to show some kind of support, you know, things like that, because it really is about fighting the real power, man. You know, these are the, you know, if you talk the Confederacy's the lost cause, well, I'm going to tell you this: limited government's the lost cause. That means the oligarchs won. The U.S. oligarchs won. That's what that means. They're shrewd, man. They know what they're doing. I know the angles in a lot of different ways, and I can't say all of them. But I'm pretty much everything. It's almost everything on the top. But they act like they're for this and they're for that on the top. They're pretty much the exact opposite. They're full of it. They're full of it. They'll do that with other people's money or some shit, but not with them. Not with them. So, well, there's a little Dixie down there. This one is going to be my big pain in the ass cat to get to the vet. I think I can get this guy. Him, Paws. He's almost approachable now. So, anyway, over now.